Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the stainless steel 11-piece limited edition Chopek Kederberg Renaissance Final Edition. 42.5 millimeters in diameter. It's only 11.9 millimeters thick. 50.7 millimeters lug to lug with a broad and modern 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now we'll throw this watch on my wrist. There have been several different sizes of the Kederberg, and they all wear differently. You can see my wrist, 16 centimeters circumference, oval in profile and flat across the top. Wears the watch well, but I do feel like I'm at the limit here. If your wrist is smaller than 16 centimeters circumference, you're going to want a smaller Kederberg model. Now the timepiece is flat, so you'll find it easily fits underneath the cuff. No reservations there. Taking a quick look at the strap, it's upscale, it's very premium. We have large symmetrical scale alligator leather, indicating this is a very expensive cut. Gloss finish, you can see it's sort of an anthracite with a monotone stitch folded edge. On the bottom we have black calfskin. You can see this is a Chopek factory strap. We have a lovely little matching stainless steel polished buckle, and then the case band is evacuated and then internally media blasted to add a visual wrinkle that enhances the aesthetic depth of each side. You can also see there's a shallow sheer guard profile with satin and polish for the crown, which features the logo of the company as well as the founding year of the original Chopek firm back in the mid-19th century. The dial, again, one of many different dials created for the Kederberg series since the first ones in 2015. This one has more focal planes, textures, tones, and materials to set its different elements apart. So you can see there's a track outboard for reading the minutes. Inboard of that, there is a silvered track for the hours. You can see applique hour indices as well as a Arabic numeral 12. And then you've got that brushed silvered pattern, the concentric brushed lines that loop around the center dial. The center dial is a very finely frosted opaline, and you'll find the same is true for the two sub-registers. Here's your running seconds, here's your power reserve. You can see each one features a small amount of red, and then each one also has a multifaceted, alternately satinated and polished chapter ring that surrounds it and also protrudes on each side into the hour track. Taking a look at the center, you can see that the center of the hands, as well as the cannon pinion, black polished, and then the hands themselves are thin, polished, skeletonized, and blackened for contrast. The watch does include a hacking or stop seconds function, so you can set the sub-seconds to a reference time. You'll also note that all of the fonts used for the numerals on the dial, you see that 2 right there, that 2 right there, that 2 right there, they are all the same font, so superb attention to detail there. The watch does have a 7-day power reserve. It works a little bit differently than on some Kederberg models, which use the power reserve as a sort of makeshift day of the week indicator. Here it's just a conventional 1 to 7 with the 168 hours of power reserve depicted by a double-sided spinner. Now taking a look at the reverse side, this was the first movement launched by the reborn Chopek company, and it's inspired by movements created by the original Chopek company. First, there is the twin barrel architecture with the barrels next to each other sharing a common crown wheel, and then we have the train that runs down from the barrels to the escapement, and the use of frosting, because back in the mid-19th century when Chopek was most active, Côte de Genève would not have been employed. It would have been a frosted finish achieved with some combination of mercury and acid. Well, this is done by media blasting, but it gives you the same aesthetic effect. We have fired blued screws here. We have really high-quality mirrored bevels all over the place, including internally within the wheels, which is rare and beautiful even in luxury watchmaking. The wheels are all satinated, and as you can see, different satin patterns are used. You have a circular satin for most of them, but the crown wheel actually features a solarization, and then you can see we have a balance beaten away at an aesthetically pleasing 3 hertz. The movement was designed by Chronode, which is a high-end movement manufacturer that, among other things, has created editions in the Harry Winston Opus series, so they have that kind of pedigree. And then you can see that the watch also uses something called X0 steel, and what that is a little bit like like Rolex 904L steel. It's a more corrosion-resistant steel. You can also see that this is 1 out of 11, so they're quite rare. All this 30 meters water-resistant, and thanks to the twin barrels, you don't get a big drop-off in amplitude as the power reserve progresses. One of the problems with high power reserve single-barrel movements is that they tend to gallop and gain a lot of time when they are first wound, and then they start losing a lot of time towards the end of their power reserve. Well, with the twin barrels, that's mitigated somewhat by a more progressive power release. Reach out to Team Osso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.